Bismillahirrahmanirrahim wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi tahirin. After our break for the first 10 days of Muharram, and we have had a little extra, we're continuing the lessons of the history of the prophets in regards to Ulul Azm, those five special prophets which have come with a code of law, with a legislative system, namely Prophet Noah, Prophet Nuh, Prophet Ibrahim, Prophet Musa, Prophet Isa, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi. But since we are talking about the history of prophets, it is very important that we begin with the first man who is also a prophet. That is Prophet Adam alayhi salam. So before we start talking about Ulul Azm specifically, we're going to have a bit of a discussion just briefly on Prophet Adam alayhi salam because that is where human history begins. That is where the prophetic mission begins. And that is a very important area for us to reflect upon, for us to ponder about, for us to study, and for us to derive lessons from it. Firstly, I should say the story of Prophet Adam is a practical guidance. It's like a book. Just the story itself, the events itself, the occurrence itself is a book itself, which is rich of guidance and lessons for humankind, for all Bani Adam, all the children of Adam, alayhi salam. So you see here now on your screen that we are entering into the history of prophets, the Tariq and Biya. But again, like I said, we're going to focus mainly on Ulul Azm, but we are going to add in there Prophet Adam. Okay, so in the Holy Quran, there are approximately maybe around 26 prophets mentioned by name in the Holy Quran. Now, there were many other prophets, but we don't have them mentioned by name. These prophets are very important to us because their stories are mentioned to us to give us lessons and guidance. Now, approximately 26, sometimes there's debate on whether a certain figure is a prophet or not. Like, there's discussion amongst the scholars, the mufassirin, about whether Khidr was a prophet or not. So, in the Holy Quran, we find about 26 prophets mentioned by name. But there is disagreement on some, if they were prophets, alayhum salam, or they were just very special, holy, pious people. So, inshallah, we may talk about Prophet Khidr if we have time, or we may talk about Khidr, and not saying he's a prophet or not. We have to wait till we get to that discussion. And you see, it came out by accident. Um, uh, but I'm not saying for sure he was a prophet or he's not a prophet. We have to get to the evidence, and we could look at the evidence when we get there, inshallah, and then we can see what kind of level we understand about it. But there is disagreement on this one. And so we'll discuss them maybe in passing, inshallah, because it's somehow related to Ulul Azm. Now, many, many prophets were sent. Various prophetic guidances were sent into human history and can be spread throughout the world. So you may find various different traces of prophetic guidance throughout the world. So, so various different um, prophetic guidances throughout the world you may find, but maybe they get mixed with true or false things. They get distorted or things taken from true resources. So so although sometimes it's distorted, sometimes it's partially lost, Sometimes it's corrupted. Um, so we could actually say that when you look at religions, you could have three types of religions. You could have religions um, which are totally false, made up, like spaghetti monster religion, or you could have things which are totally true, like authentic Islam, and you can may have um and you could have um and you could have um uh mixtures of religion, true and false things mixed together. Okay, so prophethood began with Prophet Adam alayhi salam, and it ended with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we believe that the prophetic mission to mankind began with Prophet Adam alayhi salam, and that the seal of the prophetic mission occurred with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if you look in the book of Daniel, you'll see in the Hebrew that it talks about somebody uh who is who is coming to seal the prophetic mission, called Hamadut. Hamadut comes from the same root, Semitic root, as Muhammad. So you see that the prophetic mission was sealed with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Therefore, the codes of law, the legislative systems of religions, they are differing in some aspects. They're differing in some things, but they have common things together. So, like what was sent to Moses, and then what was sent to Jesus, and what was sent to Muhammad have many common areas, many common things, beliefs which are the same, but they differ in certain things. Like maybe the form of prayer was different for the children of Israel, and it's different for us, but the fact of prayer being mandated was there. Or fasting may have been different for them, but the fact of it being mandated was there. So, like all prophetic missions, we believe all prophetic missions have forbade wine. At the completion of every prophetic mission, wine was forbidden. All prophetic missions have preached monotheism, Tawheed, the uniqueness of God. However, some differences exist, such as eating certain types of things. Like in the Jewish books, you have certain types of fats that weren't allowed. But these things are Islamically allowed to eat. So the reason for these occurrences are various. One is if it's an authentic difference, meaning that it's not something people made up, then this means that it's something that Allah the Exalted has has sent and and um and verified and put in there for different reasons. Maybe it's because of the timing, the time of the people, the error of the people, the place of the people. Maybe it's a way to and ultimately it's a way to test the people. So so it could be for different reasons. Maybe we went off the live there. No. Okay. So it could be for different reasons that the prophetic missions were sent down. Okay. Now look at this narration from Muhammad ibn Ibrahim ibn Ishaq al-Talagani. Sheikh Saduq says, Radiallahu anhu, for him, may Allah be pleased with him. He narrated that Ahmad ibn Muhammad ibn Sa'id al-Kufi al-Hamdani quoted on the authority of Ali ibn al-Hasan ibn Fadal, on the authority of his father, that Abul Hasan al-Rida alayhi salam, so Imam Riza alayhi salam, said, why were the best messengers called Ulul Azm? Why were they called Ulul Azm? Ulul Azm means those who possess determination. The Imam alayhi salam answered, they were called the Ulul Azm since they had laws and regulations. They had a code system. The prophets that came after Noah, after Prophet Nuh, all followed the laws of Nuh and followed him. The prophets that came after Nuh all followed his book until Abraham came, alayhi salam, Prophet Ibrahim. Prophets that came after Ibrahim, alayhi salam, all followed Ibrahim's laws. The laws and the ways of Ibrahim were followed by all the prophets that came after Ibrahim until the time of Musa, alayhi salam. Then after Musa, the prophets followed his laws and ways and adhered to his book until the time of Jesus, alayhi salam. All the prophets at the time of Jesus and after him followed his laws and ways and adhered to his book until the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. Therefore, these 5 prophets are called Ulul Azm and are the best of the prophets and messengers. And the laws of Muhammad will not be voided until the resurrection day. No prophet will ever come after him until the resurrection day. So you see in this narration, we have that the code of system that was given to Prophet Muhammad, how to pray as example, how to fast, what is allowed to eat, what is forbidden to eat, all these things will not change. They will not be abrogated until the day of resurrection, until people come out of their graves, flesh forms on bones, and people are judged. No prophet will come after him until the resurrection day. There will be no prophet, no new Anbiya that comes after him. What we are waiting for is the return of our Imam, which is not a prophet, and the return of a previous prophet, that is Prophet Isa alayhi salam, Prophet Jesus, which we believe will happen. They will come together. But there will be no new prophet. There will be no new book, no new law book. What we have, we must follow. So this is a narration taught to us from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. So no, those people who say that the religious laws are outdated and they say that the religious laws change. No, you go read the narrations of Ahlul Bayt. If you follow Ahlul Bayt and you see these hadith, then you should have no problem accepting that something is halal or haram to do. Something is wajib or haram. So humans, in our essence, we're contingent. We're needy. We're needy and contingent beings. We don't know everything because we are needy in our essence. If you go look up what the definition of contingency is, you'll see that a contingent being is something which is needy in its essence. In fact, no creation knows everything. No created thing can ever claim to know everything. Why? Because created things are contingent in their essence. They are needy. They're mumkin al-wujud. And only Allah the Exalted is the all-knowing. Only Allah the Exalted is knowing of everything. So at the same time, Allah the Exalted has created humans with intellectual abilities. But those abilities are limited to knowing what is right or wrong. So we know some basic things of what is right and wrong, but we don't know everything. We have to admit our limits. We have to admit we're ignorant of many things. So in light of this reality, which is the real condition of humanity, humans require guidance to succeed in a test. They require someone to tell them what to do. They require someone to direct them in the right way who knows the actual reality of things. Therefore, prophets alayhim salam are sent for guidance to humanity. That's why prophets are sent for our guidance, because we don't know everything. If you were to leave us on our own, we'd get only some basic moral concepts. Murder is wrong, stealing is wrong, lying is wrong. But we won't get all the details of what's going to benefit us because we don't know the secrets of our creation and the world's creation. But Allah the Exalted knows all that because He created it all. If something made everything, then it knows everything it made. So, so prophets are sent for guidance of humanity, for judgment between mankind, to give glad tidings and warnings, and to establish justice. So we have a verse. So we have a verse in the Holy Quran which calls to attention what the previous condition of mankind was before before Prophet Adam was created. But I'm going to leave this verse until the next lesson, inshallah, and we'll continue from this verse as we talked about the different law systems of Al-Azm, and we'll continue from here from ayat 30 of Surah 2 next week, inshallah. Wa akhiru duwana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.